I'm David Reed, and this is The Engine Room. Hello, and welcome back to another Engine Room. We have a very special guest, Lim Hai Ming.
Hi, Dave.
Jimmy Lim, you know him as, but
Yes.
that's your given name is Hai Ming, right?
Yes, that's the Chinese name with Lim Hai Ming. Lim has been the last name or the surname.
Yeah, comes first. Yeah,
Yeah.
different. Not a lot of people know that, but now they all know. So
That's true.
they'll still call you Jimmy. Everyone called you Jimmy for years, and
Yes.
long time with NOV.
Yes, it's my 43rd year.
43rd year.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
It's I'm proud because it means a lot to me that I can work with a company for so long.
Yeah.
It tells you that the loyalty, the support, and what I have contributed plus what they gave me. So I think that's
It's been a win-win.
yes, that's right. So
It's been many good years. Yeah.
that's correct.
So where were you born?
I was born in Singapore.
Singapore,
Yeah,
the little island.
it is a little island. We were the second generation.
Ah,
That's the first gen. As you know, Singapore is a cosmopolitan city.
very much.
Yeah, so it has all the cultures, and then we're very lucky that we have good leaders. The government kind of developed the country
Yeah.
where we have good education, good support and background to allow us to kind of move up from those period of time where maybe I'll just put it in a better way that underdeveloped to develop, and then to someone where you ask Singapore,
Yeah.
everybody knows where the tiny little country is.
It's amazing. It's a thriving environment. If people haven't been, they should go. It's amazing.
It's amazing, and sometimes I do ask myself how does oil and gas kind of fall into that little island sometimes.
How did that happen? Yeah.
Well, okay, it's a long story. It was through the word of mouth that they were looking for a guy to work for an oil and gas firm. They say it was an American company.
Oh, really?
So I was granted an interview by an Irishman.
An Irishman.
Yeah,
Wow, I'm
believe
not
it
going
or
to say
not.
anything about that.
Well, I think the name rings a bell. It's Mike Cody.
Oh, really?
Yes, it was Mike Cody.
They said Irish. He's Scottish.
Well,
Well, he's Norwegian Scottish.
maybe, yeah, you're right, half Norwegian, Irish. So I met him, he interviewed me, and then the rest of history. So he gave me the opportunity.
I didn't know it was Mike Cody. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we both have that Schaefer history. Yeah.
Yes. As a matter of fact, his son works for Chen Zhou.
Yeah. Yeah. The
So-
other Mike Cody.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I met him a few times,
Yeah.
and I asked him that if he would please tell his dad to meet me if he came over,
Yeah.
and we did.
Nice.
So we met about just pre-COVID.
Yeah.
He was healthy, he was good, but he's retired.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you grew up in Singapore. What's life like as a kid?
Well, as I said earlier, I think under the good government that we have, it wasn't like we were malnourished, something like that. Singapore
Yeah.
was able to provide the education and jobs that Dad had and Mom and all that. So,
What did your parents do?
well, Dad was a carpenter
Uh-huh.
and Mom was a seamstress.
Really?
Yeah. So, although life was not like in the movies, they are hard and all that. They manage it.
You had a good life.
Yeah, good life. We got education from what we call elementary is primary school
Mm-hmm.
to secondary, which is high school.
Yeah.
So we all had all that, except they didn't have that.
Yeah.
So with that being said, so growing up was not challenging, but it was a challenge that we want to be better
Yeah.
because of the way that the country came
It
about.
seems driven that way.
Exactly. So
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
driven to be better.
Yeah.
And that's how we always appreciate when we look back and see how the country has flourished and how we ourselves have kind of improved, over the years because of the way we've been taught about it.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. You must have seen all that change. It must have been a very different Singapore.
Tremendously.
Lots of buildings and lots of
Yes.
in a small space. A lot of building up.
Yes, and very expensive too, unfortunately.
Yes. It became very expensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you went through high school, secondary, were you hired straight out of secondary, or what? I assume by 43
Yes,
years.
yes, I did. But I went to also a what we call an STI Technical Institute in Singapore. I took electromechanical.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so just about that time, as I was hired. So
It was like an apprenticeship.
it is. It is.
Yeah.
Mr. Cody was extremely I wouldn't say he's not easy, but he was very practical. He
Yeah.
said that to be in the oil and gas, you have to start from the bottom.
Yeah, which is
So
true.
I started as a materials man,
Yeah,
and then right after 1 year, that's why I have to say I'm very honored to work for a company for so long. They gave me the training in the U.S. At
Yeah.
that time, it was called NL Rig Equipment,
it was NL. Okay.
NL. So
Yeah.
I came to the state when I turned 21.
Yeah,
And thereafter, there were several other training that they brought me into the States in the mid-'80s.
yeah, they had great training facilities.
Yes,
back then,
it's
yeah.
very intensive, and that's how.
Everything was black and white, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I remember that the school that I
I
attended.
remember all the pictures I've seen are in black
Yes,
and white. That's why I
we
think
were
of it.
using those microfresh kind of thing to
Yeah,
show it,
yeah.
and the projectors were all the carousel and all that.
That's hilarious.
So so the career started from that, and I didn't look back since. So
Yeah.
it started from there, and as I said,
And you didn't work in Singapore first? You came to train, or you worked for a bit?
I was in
in
Singapore for a
Singapore.
bit. I came to train, and then because of, I think they probably saw some of what I call the potential in me.
Yeah,
So they said, you come over. And so in the mid-'80s, I was in Houston for a year.
yeah.
So they kind of enrolled
So
me.
you've seen Houston change as well.
Yes,
Very,
yes.
Very different.
Yes, very different. It was a complete change. That was in the '80s, so I saw a lot of things that I've not seen.
Was NL then in the same building at West Little York, or where were
Oh
they?
no, NL has this building at 3000 North Bell, which is
Okay.
next to the G building. I
Yeah.
think it's either Weatherford or someone else has took over the
Someone
building.
else, one of those companies.
Yes, yes. It was.
Halliburton or someone.
You're right,
It
Halliburton.
is
Yeah,
Halliburton.
you're right, Halliburton.
Yeah,
It's huge. It has.
Big facility.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
rig there. So I stayed there.
yeah.
Training was.
So at that time, Schaefer still existed, but was
Yes.
separate in
Yes.
the Kumi building,
That's right.
which was West Little York.
Correct. That's
okay.
what.
Okay.
So, the repair shop was in West Little York, the Kumi. So that's where I was trained.
Yeah,
So that's a bit of history there. It's changed entirely now. So
yeah,
yeah.
it's all changed. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
yeah. So that career kind of it just kept going
Yeah.
because we kept growing.
Was it just opportunity based? I mean, as you were growing up, you didn't have any. Did you have mechanical tendencies? Were you
Yes.
interested in mechanical
Yes.
things?
Very much, very much. I'm very much a mechanical hydraulic guy.
Yeah,
So the electronic came later on. There wasn't
Yeah.
such a thing as PLCs
Sure.
and all that. So
probably if you think about it, the Schaefer Subsea stuff was the first
yes.
really electronics, and we're talking
Yeah.
what they call mil spec, military
Yes.
spec stuff. It didn't exist yet.
Didn't exist. Yeah. So
Yeah,
so the MUX system came about, but of course we had our own learning curve.
yeah,
And as we, grew through the years, I think we got better and better from the third, fourth, fifth, and now we're in the sixth gen or the
Yeah.
RCX.
yeah. You'll have gone through all of that. That's
Yes.
pretty interesting from the first semis and
Yeah.
crazy. A lot of offshore work. I mean, did you go from you were materials to what?
Well, materials to a service
To
hand,
service hand.
and
yeah.
then after that, if I were to give you a little bit, and repair, and then a bit of sales and marketing. That's
Yeah.
where I work for you.
That's right. Sorry about that.
Yes, and then I ran the Schaefer operation in Singapore.
That's right. Yeah.
And then we had another merger with
Yeah.
Varco,
Yeah.
and then I kind of work in the operations.
We bought Schaefer, but
Yes. Well, that's a good thing.
no. But I remember at the time when I came to West Little York, people thought that Schaefer had bought Varco.
Yes,
It was a weird because it's such a big company, had been such a big company,
it is. It is.
and so it was an interesting
Yeah.
merger. Very different cultures.
Yeah, yeah. But I think we are fortunate because all the merger or acquisitions,
Yeah,
we had a very good partnership.
and kept getting better.
Exactly, it get
Yeah.
better, and the best thing is NOV right now.
Yeah.
So the long story short is, after all the acquisition, given the opportunities, I move along and work in the different roles.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm fortunate that I did almost a little bit of everything in the
You
company.
did. Yeah. Been all over the place. Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. What did you really love? What's your passion at work? What's the thing that
Well,
what is it about work? Because I
Right,
know
right.
one thing I know about you is wherever we are, if there's a call, like you're off taking the call. Your responsiveness
yes, sir.
is like glued to you.
Yeah,
For keeping rigs up and keeping customers happy. And
yes. I've been called the go-to man. I'm being called the 24/7 man, and I'm also been called
that's
the
probably
cleaner.
your kids who called you the 24/7 man because
Yeah.
they've
So-
seen you run.
So to answer your question, I think I think the job, the way it was, I think the job, because I managed to able to take pressure,
Yeah.
and pressure as in like when you got a call, there's a problem.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I've managed to do that where I could take it and not
Not freak out.
Exactly.
You're calm. That's
So
true.
so that part of it that allows me. So the more I get involved with customers who have problems, the more I felt that I could help them.
Yeah.
But that's just the customer side.
Yeah.
What I like is to train and support the local group globally.
Yeah.
When I say local, as in the pressure control group.
Yeah.
So when they have issues, whether it's service or repair,
Yeah.
they call me 24/7, and I'm there to help them.
I know when I'm in a bind and something's not right in the Schaefer product line and the pressure control, you're always there. Like I can always call on you, and you will feel passionately if it's not right.
That's right.
You know, which is I think that's a good trait that you picked up just through so much working on rigs. You always understood the seriousness, you know,
Yes.
of
Yes.
everything.
Yes. I guess part of that is because of the exposure I had
Yeah.
and the experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
So back to the question, it was like how and why do I like to do this? Because with the background that I have and the things I've learned, so it gives you a lot of confidence when you start talking to the customers
Yeah.
and the people that they wanted to learn all that. And it's deja vu. You've went through that before.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it makes sense for me to help them.
Yeah, you managed to build a family and keep them, which is not often in the industry is not easy to do. Where did you meet your wife?
Well, I met her actually in Singapore,
Uh-huh.
in the school.
Oh, yeah?
And yeah, but we
Like
met.
in your secondary school? Or
No, it's after secondary.
really in the
yeah.
technical school?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I met her on an island. Just when I got to know her better, even though we saw each other in school, we didn't know. So, and the rest.
I met her on an island. Sounds idyllic. You're the only two people on the island, or
No, it was actually a picnic that another colleague asked me to join,
nice.
and she was there with a different group, and there she was. And then the next thing, got her number,
Yeah,
and I went after her.
you went after her.
Right.
That's great. And she's moved around with you and the kids, and
She did.
yeah,
She
very
quit-
flexible.
Yeah. She quit her job. She knew that I would have to, because of the job, so that
Yeah,
to
you're gonna
get
have to
consistency,
move.
and she moved her. So we came to the U.S.
Yeah,
And also because of the son as well. So
Yeah,
we came
yeah.
here for the purpose of, at that time, Wesley, my son,
yeah.
needed a bit of special needs kids.
Yeah.
So we did a bit of
He's
that.
a
and
wonderful guy.
We
Yeah,
decided to come over here.
yeah. That would help. The state's education really helped. him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Singapore at that time didn't have a lot of focus on kids who require special kids, even
Yeah.
though they have, but it's very extreme.
Yeah, I remember.
Whereas the U.S. has more of those
Yeah.
in public
'Cause
schools.
you started that journey in the U.S., went back, and then we're glad to come back. Yeah, it was
Yes.
helpful.
Yes.
That's good, and they wonderful kids. It's an amazing family that you have.
Thank God, he
Yeah.
overgrew that, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
He got a lot better. So
Yeah.
so I'm glad
That's
that
very
we
cool.
make the right choice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So, what do you do now? What's your current role?
I'm currently the senior technical PCG manager,
Yeah,
but it's more on a global role as well.
yeah.
So
So everything. I mean, there's not a lot of people left from the
not a whole
original
lot,
days. So
not a whole lot. Yeah,
you do have that knowing a lot of stuff.
Yes. But lately I have been asked to focus on working with Transocean.
Oh, really?
Yes, on the 220K rig. So
Oh,
I'm the
yeah.
technical resource manager for the two particular rigs.
Brand new everything.
Yes, very new. 20K with all the best of everything. So
Yeah.
that's part of my job right now that I'm very focused on.
Mm.
Yes.
So are you constantly in touch with the rig? Is that both rigs? Yeah.
Yes, both rigs. I get the
Yeah.
daily reports.
Yeah.
I would sit in all their workshops,
Yeah.
even deploying a stack and how they run it and or what issues they have daily.
Mm.
So all that will kind of route through to me, and then I'll work together with the engineers and
Yeah.
the rest of the accounts managers to ensure that we keep the customer supported.
Yeah. Cool. So I know you struggle with having personal time, but I know you must have some. What do you have hobbies or things you like to do?
Well, I think when you said it, it kind of came to my mind right away. I do have hobbies. In the weekend, I play a little bit of golf here and there.
Just
That's
a
the only
little
thing I
bit.
could do.
You're a good golf player. I
Yeah,
know that.
but I like to run and swim. But since post-COVID, I've stopped doing that.
Really?
Yes, I do that. So, if I do retire, I know it's a question that pops up when you hit that age.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like to do a lot more charity. I've
Yeah.
done a few, but
Yeah.
some of the things I want to do is do more charity,
Good.
more for underprivileged kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's my goal. I spoke to my wife, and then I think she said it's a good thing.
She likes that idea.
Yeah, but I haven't got into that yet. We
Yeah,
did do some work with my son.
Yeah.
We went to those. I think it was a United Ways. It was sponsored by ExxonMobil.
Uh-huh.
So we went to the place to help them to organize and clean up a facility.
Yeah.
So that was really good. We had a first-hand experience on how to do that.
Yeah.
That's what, like 20, 30 people there.
Yeah.
So those are the things that I think eventually I would like to get into that to see how we can support them further.
Yeah.
So I think it gives you a bit of fulfillment there. So
Yeah.
I like to do that if I have that opportunity.
Yeah. So 43 years. Other people early in their careers. Any advice or guidance on how to do well in a company and how to enjoy the journey?
Yes, I do. I said that to everybody. I mentor a lot of them.
Yeah.
And I told them to do investment.
Yeah.
So probably you ask me what kind of investment.
Yeah.
It's self-investment.
Yeah.
So I think this ingredients it's obviously some of the things that we know. It's training, exposure, knowledge,
Yeah.
confidence,
Yeah.
and then contribute back to society.
Yeah.
So those are the things that I've always told some of the folks and those that know me,
Yeah.
they know that I use that all the time, and they realize that without those ingredients, they can't go on further.
Yeah.
But of course, I've always stressed the part where a lot don't. It's the loyalty.
Yeah.
So I said, with all those ingredients you have, but if you don't have loyalty and you start kind of, for better opportunities, which nothing's wrong with that,
Yeah.
but that's how I stay put, and the satisfaction comes from that,
Mm.
by staying loyal to the company.
Yeah. You've done a good job of that.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's been good years.
It is, and I felt great, and I think you're right, 43 years when I look back, and that's what I call success.
Yeah.
So
Amazing. Amazing time.
Yes.
And what's your best favorite moment in all these years? What was your most proud thing that happened?
Well, I think there's a lot, but
I know I didn't prep you for that at all. So,
I know.
but what do you think? Think of some
think-
things.
I think it's the same thing as a family.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's the family that gives you the satisfaction where you can be with them together
Yeah.
and what you brought to them,
Yeah.
and you see them growing up
Yeah.
to be what they are, and
Yeah.
of course the righteous way.
Yeah.
And I think I hope to see that when I retire and look back and see what they do as a family again,
Yeah.
and that will be the best. That's the thing I think I value most.
Fantastic.
Yes,
That's really good.
yes,
So if anyone was to call you, which people do all the time,
yes.
what's the best subjects for you to help people with?
I like to do both actually. The current issue is whatever is related to pressure control.
Yeah.
You can call me
BOPs,
anything on all
anything.
that on subsea.
Yeah.
But I like to perhaps also emphasize on training, which
Yeah.
is something that I love to do.
Yeah.
So I really have a lot who actually call me to ask to do the same thing, which I did a few years ago.
Yeah.
They asked me to go to that country and train them,
Yeah.
and I'll consider because because of this Transocean deal,
Yeah.
the requirement is to be in the country. So
Yeah.
so when I was out for holiday,
Yeah.
they were pretty upset.
You took a holiday? I don't remember you taking holidays.
Well, I got to.
you
so-
have to. It's
Yeah,
important.
I have to. So
You
I
have
think
to.
the training will be one of the things that I wanted to do to the rest, because if I don't do that, then there's no success. Well, not successor, but kind of to
Yeah.
pass on all this knowledge
That's right.
that I think I can keep doing that
That's
till I
great.
retire.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, Jimmy, thanks for coming on. We appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me. Thank you very much.
We'll see you next time.